And some more on this afternoon's breaking news. Former Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein sentenced today in Los Angeles to an additional 16 years in prison on sexual assault charges.
And Weinstein is already serving a 23-year prison sentence in New York. Joining us now to discuss is our legal panel, former federal prosecutors Andrew and Katie Cherkasky.
Oh, look at that. How about that?
How charming you two
And you
are.
know, the smartest thing about him is he was on and I asked who was a better lawyer and he said her. So
he's a very wise man.
So that shows you how smart he is, and I'm smart enough to start with Kate.
There
so,
you go. Katie, yes.
Kate, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, a lot of people look at this, and they assuming he's been guilty of all these things, they don't want Harvey Weinstein to get out.
Well, Harvey Weinstein has faced a significant amount of allegations from so many people, but at the end of the day, he's really only been convicted of very few of those. And that shows you that it is a very high standard in criminal court to prove beyond a reasonable doubt a lot of these sexual assault cases. But when the prosecution is able to get there, and especially on a case alleging a violent rape, if the allegations are to be taken at face value, then that is worth a lot of time in jail. And that's what we've seen here.
Is there any chance, Andrew, that he will have some sort of parole, or that there's any chance that there will be an appeal, or is this pretty much the end of being out of jail life, or free life, I should say, for Weinstein?
Well, there is no chance for parole anytime in the near future, but there are going to be appeals. There's an appeal that's already been accepted in the state of New York that really deals with the multiple victims and the way in which that was presented to the jury, ultimately leading to the conviction there. Many critics are saying that that appeal actually has a legal shot, so to speak, and that the appellate courts might actually give him relief or even a new trial. So that LA trial was really important to the victims because they saw that as an opportunity so that even if that New York trial is overturned, the LA verdict could stand. Now, there's appeals that we're going to hear on the LA conviction as well. That's only one victim who there was a conviction for, and there are issues that the defense says exist with that case. So much more to come. I think that's going to be a process that takes years, though, to fully flesh out.
Yeah, and Katie, I think one of the things is we look at like the Bill Cosby, not that all of these cases are the same. And granted, he was one of the great comics of the generation, but he gets out. And a lot of people are worried that you're going to find, oh, there was something, the dots weren't dotted and the T's weren't crossed. What are your thoughts on that? Any possibility of that happening here?
I think that the optics of these Me Too cases are a lot different than the legal technicalities that sometimes exist in those. So, the media coverage of the facts and the evidence in a case is one thing, but when the appellate courts are looking at the actual constitutional issues that exist, it's not just a technicality that's going to get somebody out of jail, but it's actually violations of their due process rights or other constitutional and trial rights that they have under our system. So it is a very significant burden for an appellate court to entirely overturn convictions. But in these sex assault cases, the cases really hinged on the credibility of these alleged victims. And there are sometimes issues that come about on appeal that are not technicalities, but are significant legal errors that existed that undermine the constitutional system. So that's the defense counsel and me telling you that, yeah, absolutely, people can have their opinions about it, but when you dig into the evidence of a case and the law, that it all makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and ultimately, all of us just want the system to work. We want it to be fair to everybody, whoever it is. By the way, are you the only two lawyers in the family? How many more are there?
Just us, actually, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else can handle it. The family's got enough to do to hear from us.
The smartest ones in the room.
There we go. We like it.
All right, Andrew and Katie Cherkasky, thank you so much.
Thank you.